The TV1 News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello, this is TV1 News. I'm Jasmine Jack.
And I'm Tracy Pa. Join me later in the bulletin for sports.
In this edition, Palestine condemns establishment of embassy, military and police arsenal under stocktake, and Digicel remains committed to rugby league. The opening of the PNG embassy in Jerusalem has received mixed reactions from the international community, with the Palestinian Islamic Resistance Movement, Hamas or PIRMH, and the Palestine Foreign Ministry condemning the move by PNG. They say Jerusalem remains at the heart of the decades-long Middle East conflict, and the Palestine Foreign Ministry deemed the opening as aggression and a violation of international law.
The Palestinian Islamic Resistance Movement, Hamas, on their website expressed dissatisfaction at PNG's move to open an embassy in Jerusalem. They said Jerusalem is not recognized as Israel's capital. The Palestine Foreign Ministry, in a statement, stated that the opening of the PNG embassy in Jerusalem was an aggression against the Palestinian people and their rights. PNG became the fifth nation to maintain a diplomatic mission in Jerusalem. Other countries with embassies in Jerusalem include the U.S., Honduras, Guatemala, and Kosovo. However, PNG Prime Minister James Marape says the decision to open an embassy in Jerusalem was a sovereign decision based on PNG's Christian principles. The PIRMH says such move was an infringement upon the Palestinian people's rights and a blatant violation of international law. They are calling on Papua New Guinean authorities to immediately backtrack on this decision. Freddie Mo, TV1 News.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has agreed to visit Papua New Guinea at the invite of the Prime Minister James Marape. Netanyahu made the announcement last night during the opening of the PNG embassy in Jerusalem. Netanyahu is looking forward to visiting PNG and strengthening the bilateral relations between the two countries. Prime Minister James Marape's invitation was made to have Netanyahu officiate at the groundbreaking ceremony for the Israeli embassy in Port Moresby. PNG will provide Israel a piece of land to build its diplomatic mission in the country. A joint investigation between the Royal PNG Constabulary, PNGDF, and the National Airports Corporation is underway to establish the source of the ammunition and others involved in the failed attempt to smuggle 300 live ammunitions to Mount Hagen. Our PNGC and PNGDF are now taking stock of their ammunition and weapons in their respective arsenals to ensure nothing is missing. They are concerned about the increasing trend of illegal arms proliferation and are working across many agencies to find a solution.
Police Commissioner David Menin and Deputy Chief of Defence Force Commodore Philip Polewara both expressed concerns about illegal arms build-up in the country.
We also acknowledge that there is a growing reluctance to cooperate with security forces when it comes to giving actionable intelligence as to where these firearms are coming from, who is in possession of them, who is purchasing them, and who is supplying them or transporting them into tribal conflict areas. that is where our concern, and of course the Commodore's concern, we've discussed this over a period of time.
And we will work closely with police of what happened to transpire, what happened and transpired, to confirm, the sources, or whether it's from within or from wherever it came from, and put some confidence into society and into our people.
Military-grade weaponry has been used in the tribal conflicts in the Upper Highlands, and while Papua New Guinea is accustomed to tribal fights, the use of these weapons is a new trend. Commissioner Menin says the smuggled ammunition is used in high-powered weapons that have the capability to shoot targets at night.
This ammunition type is called, commonly known as tracer rounds. This allows for the shooter to be able to see the direction of where he's shooting in low light. That would suggest to us that in the past there were, daylight confrontations or skirmishes amongst tribes. We're now looking at this now with some serious concern, because it now suggests that there is a move to use these to continue the fighting in hours of darkness.
He is equally concerned that there are people supporting to acquire this high-powered weaponry without a lack of concern about the damage they can cause. And he has labeled them as domestic terrorists.
Despite whatever they think they're doing, we're just going to have to describe them as criminals. And I've made it known to the government and under the proposed Domestic Terrorism Act to label them as such. They are domestic terrorists. Any threat to our sovereignty, any threat to the peace, to the state of peace and order in our country, should be adequately labeled as acts of domestic terrorism.
A new act on domestic terrorism will be brought to Parliament in the next session to address this issue. Meantime, Commodore Philip Polewara acknowledged that PNG's man in the 710 kilometers land border along Indonesia remains a challenge for the PNG Defence Force. Maricela Calaton, TV1 News.
Illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing is a global issue affecting fish stock sustainability and their habitats, undermining fisheries management measures, depriving coastal states of their social and economic benefits, and threatens food security. Jason Raubani of the Pacific Islands Forum Fisheries Agency on day one of the Pacific Tuna Forum yesterday spoke on the implications of IUU in the Pacific.
The Forum Fisheries Agency, or FFA, and its members are at the forefront in responding against IUU fishing activities in the Pacific region. The responses are delivered through the implementation of the Regional Integrated Monitoring, Control and Surveillance, or MCS framework. A 2021 updated report in the Pacific estimated that about 192,186 tons of fish worth over $333 million were lost to IUU. MCS policy advisor Jason Raubani says misreporting is the biggest problem and accounts for about 89% of total volume either harvested or transshipped. He added that vessels who are misreporting are those authorized and licensed by FFA members. The other 11% is unlicensed fishing, non-compliance and post-harvest offenses.
So from the report, the key message was positive in that there is reduction in IUU. There is cooperation to combat IUU, and it has an impact on the nature and scale of IUU. Despite the reduction, like I say, IUU fishing in the Pacific remains a challenge and a key issue in sustainable tuna fisheries.
To combat IUU, Raubani emphasized several priorities highlighting the need for stronger monitoring, control and surveillance arrangements in the FFA member zones that need to be mirrored on the high seas.
IUU, I would say, is a very complex issue and has many facets and needs our collective effort to combat IUU to ensure sustainable tuna fisheries in the Pacific.
Overall, combating IUU fishing in the Pacific region needs a collaborative and collective effort. Maricela Kelaton, TV1 News.
All government public sector corporate plans should include their housing strategy to address staff housing concerns. Public Service Minister Joe Sungi raised this concern during the launch of the Public Service Housing Policy yesterday.
Minister for Public Service Joe Sungi said most corporate plans in both the private and public sector do not have a housing strategy included in the plan. He said the expectation of public servants to turn up on time at work early and give their best performance can only be managed when they are housed in a government institutionalized house.
Many of the corporate plans of our departments and our government agencies, you hardly find any part that says about housing. You only talk about the objectives you want to achieve, and of course the common one is the budget. But many corporate plans that we have don't even talk about housing. So how can we talk about public servants attending to work early and giving the best performance when we have not catered for housing in the corporate plan itself?
He said this calls for the need for all government agencies to incorporate housing in their corporate plans.
Government agencies are required to capture clearly, well-defined program for the public service housing within the corporate plan. Because if you do not have it in the corporate plan, you can't justify the budget. Because your budget it funds the corporate plan. A corporate plan is the means by which you get to the development plan.
Sungi said the corporate plans must clearly define the housing program depending on the number of positions created.
In the corporate plan, you must clearly define your housing program for your number of public service positions that you don't come up with a request for a new position to be created in your organization when you don't even have a plan for your housing.
He said that is why the government must work in collaboration with stakeholders like Number One Super, BSP and Kina Bank. Trace Sipa, TV1 News.
A team from the United Nations Development Programme, or UNDP, is carrying out a validation workshop in West New Britain Province to help educate people on land use and how it can benefit them both socially and economically while using the land sustainably and in an environmentally friendly manner. The workshop is being carried out on behalf of the Global Environment Facility, FOLA Project Number 7 or GEF7 in partnership with the West New Britain Division of Environment and Climate Change.
Land use, plan or management is a great concern in the world today as development has given way to population increase, land shortage, rise in law and order, harmful environmental impacts and other social issues caused by development. UNDP plays a vital role in assisting communities or people in the world who are suffering from the impacts of development in improving their lives or adapting to the changes that comes with development and also addressing issues of environment and climate change. This is in line with the government's vision, which is to improve the lives of Papua New Guineans through mitigation of problems or adaptation to the changes that are happening in the country. The government of PNG has therefore partnered with UNDP to carry out projects at both the national and provincial levels. UNDP is carrying out a number of environment and climate change projects in West New Britain Province in partnership with the Provincial Environmental Division following numerous reports of the impacts of climate change in the province. The GEF7 FOLA project is now the 7th project in the province. Freddie Mo, TV1 News.
You're watching TV1 News. Stay tuned for more after the break.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSP Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSP branch today to register now for BSP Mobile Banking. BSP Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSP, our bank, our people.
Want to know to win a Scale Rice Matchy Pack? Scale Rice is giving away hundreds of really scale prizes for that Scale weekend. Prizes include over 200 Scale Rice Nambi set, over 190 Scale Rice Eskies, 44 JBL speakers with 2 wireless mics. To enter, buy any Scale Rice or Ori Rice product, write your name and contact details at the back of the receipt, drop in the entry box. There's 116 winners fortnightly, 16 promo locations and 4 fortnightly draws. Try us all.
More details in store or follow us on our social pages. Terms and conditions apply.
Papua New Guinea. We love a reason for a family gathering. A reason to play. A reason to ignite the flame. A reason to cook the best with the best. Flame Oil, now PNG made for PNG cooking. Flame Oil, winning taste.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo and milk taste and added nutrients, Milo and milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Find PNG made.
Open nets.
The crowd rises here, and you best believe these Panthers want to go out on top into the finals. The flick to Ruba, no room, somehow gets there. Walker got it back off the rebound, it's a try.
We kick off week 1 of the finals with the Brisbane Broncos aiming to stop a 15th straight defeat by the Melbourne Storm.
Wow! That is spectacular from Brisbane. Wild Rick on the chase. Coates makes the grab. He's got a hat-trick. Wow, it's exquisite. It's electric. There's no one in front of him. Someone come up and score.
With both teams fielding full-strength teams, this is going to be a finals opener you don't want to miss.
Welcome back. The education system in the country has expanded significantly since independence, now enrolling more than 2 million school-aged children in 12,800 registered schools with close to 65,000 teachers. Minister for Education Jimmy Ugoro revealed this during the recent launch of the 50-year vision for education system transformation in the country. He has attributed this increase to the reforms in the public service machinery, which has seen the decentralization of education service delivery to the provincial and district levels.
While these figures look promising, it has adversely resulted in an increase in the number of school leavers at various levels of education system each year. Minister for Education Jimmy Uguro also acknowledged that this expansion in the education system has not produced desired outcomes, specifically in improving quality and relevance. Minister Uguro says this calls for a major relook at how children are being educated to be productive and responsible citizens, noting that the country's education system has been shaped by various historical, colonial, political, and structural developments in the last 48 years. The problems and achievements of PNG's current education policy can only be appreciated in relation to the history of educational development in the country. He says tracing the development of our education system in the last 50 years and reflecting on the gaps, limitations and findings is important in understanding the current and future direction of education in this country. Freddie Mo, TVWAN News.
A group of The education system in the country has expanded significantly since independence, now enrolling more than 2 million school-aged children in 12,800 registered schools, with close to 65,000 teachers. Minister for Education Jimmy Uguro revealed this during the recent launch of the 50-year vision for education system. Transformation in the country. He has attributed this increase to the reforms in the public service machinery, which has seen the decentralization of education service delivery to the provincial and district levels. To overseas now, a group of powerful advocates have thrown support behind a dedicated National Commissioner for First Nations Children. The first of its kind, the role would be tasked with addressing disadvantage, and it's hoped could help close the gaps in health and education.
A caucus with a clear call.
What we are calling for today is to have a National Commissioner for Aboriginal Children and Young People.
At the largest Aboriginal child welfare conference in the country, advocates say the status quo is failing. They want to turn over a new page.
Our children are overrepresented in all the wrong ways, in out-of-home care, in the youth justice systems, in failures in education. These are system failures.
Government being called to act rather than react later.
It's significantly faster to stand up a National Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Children's Commissioner than it would be to call a Royal Commissioner. This could be in place before the end of the year, and certainly the announcement could come a lot faster.
At the other end of the country in Canberra, neither the federal government nor opposition are making promises. When contacted by the ABC, Social Services Minister Amanda Rishworth said determining the functions of a national advocate is underway through a government plan. However, what form it may take isn't particularly clear, and there are no hard timelines for when such a role would be created. For now, the federal focus firmly on The Voice, which launched its local campaign in Darwin today. Advocates here on the ground in Darwin arguing that irrespective of whether a voice to Parliament is successful or not, a national commissioner dedicated to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander children is essential for improving outcomes for young children.
A review into the Northern Territory Police is promising to listen to voices in and out of the forces to create change. It follows a tumultuous few years that saw police confidence dive and the controversial departure of the former commissioner.
Last week, a fresh commissioner and a fresh commitment.
We are also announcing today that the Northern Territory Government will have a review into our police force.
The team conducting the evaluation fronting the cameras today, led by former officer and Police Association President Vince Kelly.
I can only hope that my previous service as a Northern Territory police officer and as President of the Police Association gives individual members the confidence that we're fair income, we're independent, and we want to hear from people.
The independent review will look into police resourcing, assessing whether stations in the Northern Territory have the officers and the equipment to effectively police their region.
We're certainly going to consult as widely as we can over the next 6 months to get some sort of an understanding of what community expectations of the police are and if they're realistic.
Mr Kelly will be aided by 2 serving officers seconded from the force, Acting Commander Sean Gill and Senior Sergeant Emma Carter, whose assistance he describes as critical.
If there's anything that I can bring to the review, it's the experiences that I've had across the range of jobs that I've worked since I joined.
The troubled force has had a tumultuous few years, with officers operating on the front lines throughout the pandemic, and the controversial retirement of former Commissioner Jamie Chalker. But the review promises to deliver a roadmap for the force all Territorians are comfortable with.
We're open for business as of now. We've got an email address that we'll put out, and we encourage people, if you want to start putting it in now, we'll start receiving it.
A much-needed evaluation for a police force under pressure.
A milestone in regional cooperation was achieved this week with the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding between the Pacific Islands Forum, represented by Deputy Secretary General Esala Nayasi, and the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, represented by Secretary General Dr. Kao Kim Hon. The signing ceremony took place in the margins of the 43rd ASEAN Summit, hosted by current ASEAN Chair President Joko Widodo of Indonesia. Chair of the Pacific Islands Forum, Mark Brown, in his remarks at the signing, noted the value of partnership and cooperation, particularly in a post-pandemic world, and highlighted the importance of globalization, knowledge sharing, and the value of relationships in a fluid and evolving geostrategic landscape. With the Yes campaign making its way to Darwin, the team driving the message are hoping to target those who are undecided. But as the debate ramps up, convincing voters in remote communities could be a tough sell.
Voice talks are underway in the NT as the Yes campaign hit the road, taking to the streets of Darwin to spread the word.
It's about showing everybody that the Yes campaign is out on the ground and that our focus is totally about Australian people. It's totally about being out in the communities and making sure that people feel like this is their campaign.
The focus of today, rallying volunteers and supporters, but also bringing fence sitters over the line.
We're also having great conversations with people who are unsure, and we're just giving a lot more information. People have had some great questions today, and we're really happy to answer the questions.
They're also out in Alice Springs, where campaigners say they're fighting to be heard.
Alice Springs has been used a lot in the media. Our people's lives have been talked about, but they haven't listened to us. And that's the problem. Politicians, they fly in, fly out, but actually do they listen to people on the ground that have solutions?
While the campaign is ramping up in cities, it's those in remote communities who say they don't have enough information. The Yes campaign will need to work on reaching those people, but they say the work is already underway.
A lot of our work has been working with those organisations like the land councils across the territory that have those connections into those remote communities. They are the best ones that are suited to knowing how to get out there, knowing how to have the conversations, knowing how to reach people in those really remote areas.
With the smallest population and a vote that only counts towards the national total, the NT doesn't have a lot of power in the upcoming referendum. But as the campaign heats up, every vote is valuable, and it might be a simple democracy sausage that gets voters across the line.
Every single vote counts, and we're not taking any state or territory for granted.
The No campaign say they're working to reach people in the NT too, through a grassroots movement of volunteers working on the ground.
TVWAN News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase easy pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
Hey, you want to talk? Want to win one of 4 Costa buses? Simply collect 6 SP Lager Red promo caps and enter the draw at a participating store near you. There are heaps of other great prizes to win too, like SP Hunters jerseys and other awesome SP Lager gifts. So enter the draw today for a chance to win. There's a bus to be won in Islands, Southern, Momase, and in New Guinea Islands. SP Lager, Bungi Mumi!
A quick favorite meal for the day does feel good. Snacks noodles is my choice for a simple meal. It is easy to prepare and fast to cook. And with a touch of flavor and ingredients, Quality noodles that can be cooked and enjoyed in many different ways. You see, my whole family loves it. It's made here in PNG and comes in different pack sizes. Snacks noodles, tastier by you like you more.
Hiya, Mama. You eat them, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic kakaru, get up and big smile on face. Time for kimchi and a great fumu too. Sip, sip, the moo, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, the taste PNG loves.
For the first time ever, Backroads leaves Australian soil.
Hi, I'm Tanya Bale. I'm excited to show off a part of Papua New Guinea that's close to my heart.
To uncover the vibrant and resilient spirit of Rabaul.
It's a place where nature's glory can suddenly be eclipsed by its fury.
The mountains, the volcanoes, the ocean cannot speak. We will tell the story.
Backroads, Sunday on ABC Australia.
Named in honor of the greatest tennis player of the 20th century. Rivals become teammates.
The minor premiers take on a Gusty Warriors outfit on Saturday. Both teams boasting athletic outside back, playing on the back of agile forward pack.
Watch it, he's Alicia!
This is going to be a thriller.
The ICC Men's Cricket World Cup 2023 is almost here.
Oh, out! What a beauty! He's on absolute fire!
Welcome back. Number One Super this week provided access to information about superannuation services to members of the Royal PNG Constabulary. NSL staff had the opportunity to collaborate with the police personnel, especially NSL members in the New Guinea Islands region, throughout August. These engagements are a part of NSL's commitment to improving the accessibility of its services across the country. The engagements were conducted between the 15th to the 30th of August, with NSL's team setting up informational booths at police stations in Kokopo, Rabaul, Arawa, Manus, Kavieng, Buka, and Kerevat. NSL Chief Executive Officer Paul Sayer thanked RPNGC in New Guinea Islands for collaborating with NSL to ensure their staff in the region had the opportunity to easily access superannuation services. Members for the RPNGC had the opportunity to update their details, submit applications, gather information about superannuation services, and talk to the Number One Savings and Loan Society's team about their short-term savings needs. The Central Province Government and the Government of India are working together to prioritize education in Central Province. The Government of India today presented reference books to the Central Provincial Government for schools in the province. Cooperation is key between countries, and for provinces to be involved with other countries shows the government's focus in the development of districts and provinces. And the presentation of books today to secondary schools in Central Province is a testament of this and resulted from discussions held back in March between Central Governor Rufina Peter and Indian High Commissioner Imbaseka Sundaramurthy.
Key priority area, supporting the motto, investing in human capital to drive change. I noted then that the Government of India offers support in the development of education sector in Papua New Guinea under Papua New Guinea and India bilateral relations. On behalf of my government and the people of Central Province, I will be seeking to take these opportunities from the Government of India to develop the human resource in Central Province.
High Commissioner of India to PNG, Ambassador Sundaramurthy, acknowledged the friendship forged.
For me, as I say, what better thing to do from the government of and people of India, a nation of 1.4 billion and 1/6 of humanity, than to support the province, the central province, led by a great governor. The land on which Papua New Guinea stands is the land of Motu-Kita people and the people of central province. I am standing on their land. Well, on their borrowed, shall I say, blessings. So. And central province being represented by you, madam. It is our duty, I thought, first to support you in your province in a way. Normally we have been doing it more at Port Moresby, but after Port Moresby, being a national capital, because that caters to all the province.
The government of India brought in the first 5 sets of different English textbooks, starting from grades 1 to 12. The textbooks covers mathematics, English, physics, chemistry, accountancy, and science for schools. In West New Britain, Minister for Education Jimmy Uguro officially inaugurated National Literacy Week at Hoskins Secondary School. The ceremony was a grand affair, marked by the graceful Sia dancers from Tarawa in Kove, who ushered in the symbolic literacy torch, igniting hope for educational progress.
Chairman of the organizing committee, Jim Balus, explained the significance of the dolphin-shaped literacy torch. This torch contains a light bulb that symbolizes the elimination of knowledge and was switched on by the Education Minister, signifying the commencement of National Literacy Week across the country. West New Britain Governor Sasindran Muthuvel emphasizing the pivotal role of teachers in shaping society. He stressed the importance of respecting teachers as they impart the knowledge necessary for students to achieve their dreams and contribute to the nation's success. Minister Uguro echoed the sentiment that education is the key to unlocking one's potential. He emphasized the government's commitment to leaving no child behind, ensuring that all students reach at least grade 12. National Literacy Week represents a significant step towards fostering a society where education and knowledge are accessible to all. Maricela Keleton, TVWAN News.
And now the finance news. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2770 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2695, $0.4197 Australian dollars, €0.2438 euro, and 39.45 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, coffee, cocoa, and copper closed higher, while gold, copper, palm oil, and crude oil closed lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, ASX closed lower, and all ordinaries closed lower as well. And that ends the news segment. In sports, Digicel remains committed and Solu embraces challenge.
Right across the nation, we eat snacks crackers. Emi Trubla. All get a young plan alapun, only like him snacks crackers. Only make him here, no PNG, one-time lay biscuit company. It's crunchy and tasty. It's irresistible.
Hardware House is more than just a store. It is where quality meets affordability, where culture is proudly celebrated. Spanning 9 provinces, we pride ourselves in offering top-notch customer support and services. We're more than just a store. We're more than a brand. We are Hardware House.
William Hop Monimark belong 400,000 kina on-time roots rice. 600 per month mere by winning 500 kina each or get a fortnight. Na by got form the big blow winner belong 25,000 kina each. Long enter, buy 10 kg roots medium grain rice, cut him logo long front long bag, write him name na number long you long backside, na put him long entry box long all participating store. Roots big for cash giveaway. No can miss out. Terms and conditions is up.
Get ready for more! Digicel's new Big Plus Supersize data plans. Now with more options, more plans, and
more time. Choose from our daily plans, now valid for 24 hours, weekly plans, or even a monthly plan from our suite of Big Plus supersized data plans. All with more data and starting from as low as 1 kina. Yes, you heard right. What's up, Asol? Yes, yeah. Only Digicel's Big Plus supersized data plans gives you more. Activate today on My Digicel app or dial *675# only with Digicel.
NRLW is upon us, and haven't we got a cracking plan to start the round? Chance in the corner, and for the first time all day, the Titans have the lead. In Julia Robinson, welcome back, Julia. Scoring a try for Brisbane, and the Broncos go in front.
With both teams finishing their regular seasons outside the top 4, this is a do-or-die territory.
To Connor Tracy, and the Sharks go the length of the field. Trajectory to a lead. The great aerial marksman. Got it set right in the corner. The Roosters go back.
Can the Sharks stop a revamped Rooster side who continue to be better every week? This will be a good one.
Hey PNG, this is WWE superstar Sami Zayn, and I wish I had more stories about your beautiful country. I've always wanted to go, and I still have never been. Maybe one day I will. Maybe one day WWE will come there. That'd be great. But until then, I just wanted to say happy 48th anniversary of celebrating your independence. And until I get to actually come over there and have a good cup of coffee with you guys, just make sure to watch us every week on Digicel.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. In sports, the Digicel ExxonMobil Cup platform has continued to break new grounds, fostering friendship and uniting people through sport, regardless of cultural barriers. Digicel PNG CEO Colin Stone praised the people who worked tirelessly behind the scenes to keep the competition going. He said this at the Digicel ExxonMobil Cup Awards night on Monday.
CEO Collins said Digicel was proud to be the naming rights sponsor of the Digicel Cup for the past 12 years and were proud this year to collaborate with ExxonMobil to deliver the showpiece of the PNG National Domestic Sport Digicel ExxonMobil Cup. This, he said, is an amazing partnership that will continue for years to come. He acknowledged all franchise owners and sponsors without whom this competition would not have been possible, let alone the women's game.
Being able to partner with ExxonMobil to develop and progress the inclusivity with a focus not only on the men's game, but creating pathways for women and teens alike to develop not only rugby league, but the ethos of partnership and teamwork across this great nation.
Collins also paid special tribute to those who worked behind the scenes to deliver the games, more so game officials and administrators.
While I have mentioned all the teams that work on this game, I also want to thank those that take the thankless role. The role of controlling the battleground, making it fair and just, and doing their best every week to deliver a fair spectacle to this great nation. Can we all please put our hands together for the referees and officials, as well as the TV teams providing the third referee function. Without their effort, this game could not progress.
The CEO said delivering the games across the cities and towns aligns with Digicel's strategy of connecting the unconnected and bringing this nation together in sport or telecommunication.
The game, while often played in the cities, is one that traverses lines in this country, that touches even the most rural places in Papua New Guinea. This aligns with Digicel's fundamental driving strategy of connecting the unconnected and bringing this nation together, be it via sport or telecommunications. Both of these can have an amazing impact on the nation, and we're proud to continue to connect the unconnected people of Papua New Guinea, both through sport and telecommunications. We as a company have been committed to growing rugby league and the nation and look forward to continuing this with ExxonMobil for many years to come.
Terry Longwood, TVWAN Sports.
Young Hella Wigman, flyer and try scorer machine Cyril Shiba was voted top try scorer for the 2023 Digital Axon Mobile Cup season. The West Pacific Western Province speed sensation was quite a revolution with his footwork and speed, scoring some of the sensational tries of the season.
Ladies and gentlemen, the top try scorer of 2023.
Topping the top try scorers list for the season caps off an amazing journey for young Cyril in only his first season with the Hella Wigman franchise at the National Rugby League level. He accumulated majority of the tries mid-season before picking up a season-ending injury that prevented him from playing finals footy. He said speed is part of his family DNA. Cyril said playing at the Diesel Cup level was his childhood dream while playing at the schoolboys. Apart from rugby league, Cyril also had a few stints playing rugby union with Harlequins, but his strong passion for rugby league brought him back to PRL, playing for Souths before being scouted by the Barries in 2022. He, however, played only a handful of games before being released again, this time joining the West Club. While participating at the NCD Governors Cup off-season, Cyril was again scouted by Wigman, where he realized his dream.
Maybe like Amamas, like Mr. Wish to play, like in DDSL Cup, like Mr. Wish to play anything. I'm maybe looking myself, I'm come out as Amamas. So only maybe line lesson by me, just best to me training.
Playing again at the top level was second time lucky for the young winger.
I'm good player, Mr. Maybe Amamas through like bisa game best to me training. Result were like me liking lemon. Big city.
Cyril attributed part of his success story to his family, who continued to encourage and support him to work hard in his game.
All people brothers to me. All people brothers to me lo house last time. Also you got good talent, good build skills. Also give good advice.
When asked about his total try tally this season, Cyril casually said he lost count, but assured his fans there will be more coming in 2024. He said his next goal is playing at the Hunters level or even the Kumuls in future. Terry Longwood, TVWAN Sports.
Promising Southern Highlands Rugby League prodigy Trevor Tuppy Solu is still over the moon after bagging the 2023 PNG Hunters Rookie of the Year award. Trevor, though he only made 7 appearances in his debut season with the Hunters at the QRL level, he was impressive off bench or in the starting lineup.
Kick, it's all right.
Scoring a try and kicking a decisive penalty goal to give Wigman their third premiership title against Rabaul Gurius at the 2022 TVWAN Grand Final was the catalyst for young Southern Highlands man. After his stellar season with local franchise Hella Wigman, Trevor Solu now relishing his dream debut season at the QRL level with the PNG Hunters. Trevor reflects briefly on the challenges he faced along the way. Even losing his dad was more devastating.
For myself, receiving that award it's a blessing for me, and I know I have so many places to learn a lot and improve on my game. But I think this season I really wanted to start playing some good footy, but I picked up some injury along the way. So I think I played 7 games, I think 7 or 6 games. But I think during that game, I always play like that's my last game. Put everything on the line and playing, so it's an amazing journey for me. I'm very excited.
Trevor says making the final cut was not easy and had to work twice as much to impress coach Stanley Teppan, which he did. Adding picking up the award was just the icing on the cake.
Coming into the preseason was tough as well. Antas preseason is always the toughest preseason in Papua New Guinea. So I have some senior boys there, like Aila, Brendan, Solo, Judah. Those are the boys that helped me through the preseason, and I was so excited. If I don't make it the squad, as long as I'm in the preseason. So yeah, but it's a blessing for me that I made it to far, and won the award as well, and I don't know what to say.
Alongside fellow debutant More Jr., Trevor is always competing both at training and when out playing, which is always a highlight. Unfortunately, he would not end the season well after picking up an eye socket injury.
Coaches, they always tell us to, when you run out of the field, just know what you're doing, know your job in the field while you are playing. So me and More, we just stick to what we know, and we train so that we do better in the game. But for myself, I haven't taken a lot of game. I haven't played a lot of game, but every game I play, I used to put my heart out and make sure I give my best, make sure my team smile when we come out of the set. So yeah, but I'm really happy that I completed the season, but not the way I really wanted.
After surgery, Trevor is going through recovery process before training starts in November-December. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
Dates for the annual Hagmark Sipik 9th tournament have been set for the 24th to 25th November 2023 in Wewak, East Sipik Province. Following the success of last year's edition in Maprik, huge interest came in from right around the country, as well as Australia and New Zealand. Already 6 clubs have paid and only 14 more spaces to go. Registration closes at the end of October. First prize for this year has gone up to 25,000 kina compared to last year's 20,000 kina. Second prize has also gone up to 15,000 kina, third 10,000 kina, and fourth 5,000 kina, so it's a significant rise this year. For women who have first prize of 10,000 kina, second 5,000 kina, and third 3,000 kina. Registration fees for men stands at 2,000 kina and 1,500 kina for women. The first finals match of the 2023 Australian National Rugby League season will see Brisbane Broncos hosting Melbourne Storms. In Brisbane tomorrow, the home side Brisbane Broncos will be eyeing to break a losing streak against the Storms since 2019, but they won't take the win in without a fight.
The Storm hasn't lost a match against Broncos since 2009. And they will be looking to add another win to take a week off for preliminary finals. On the other hand, the Broncos has had a great run this season with Adam Reynolds steering them around the park, and they can break the Storm's winning streak. The Broncos have mobile and hard-working forward pack led by Payne Hess and Patrick Carrigan that can match up the Storm forward pack. The backline is all speed. Happy Fanot and Kotoni Steggs are one of the best centre pairing in the NRL, with the superstar fullback Rich Walls on the back makes a formidable backline combination. The Broncos are on the roll to flip the script at home, but take nothing away from Melbourne Storm side that has been there and have done it before. They will be once again coming into Suncorp Stadium to humiliate the Broncos at their home turf. The half pairing of Jerome Hughes and Cameron Munster is the best in the competition, although Munster hasn't been putting the best he is known for in the past month. Jerome's injury issue have also been a concern for the team, but everyone knows the Storm. They are a champion side. The return of Ryan Papenhausen to the side and Harry Grant's service out from dummy half shows that the Storm are still a formidable side. This match is expected to be the contest of the round, with both teams posing all players fit and ready for firing. The match will go down to the wire, and the teams that stays in the contest for the full 80 minutes will come out with the win. Rex Lita, TV1 Sports.
This ends the sports segment. Weather for the main centers for the next 24 hours. Weather for the main centers for the next 24 hours. Momase, isolated showers and thunderstorms with windy condition. Leh and Medang, partly cloudy. Wewak and Vanimo, possible brief showers. Highlands, most centers to experience possible brief showers. Southern, isolated showers with windy condition. Port Moresby, Kerema and Darrow mostly fine. New Guinea highlands scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms with windy condition. Lorengau and Kavieng brief showers. Buka some showers with thunderstorms. Ocean focus for the next 24 hours. Coral seas moderate. Pacific Ocean seas moderate with southeast to southerly winds of 10 to 20 knots, casting to 25 knots over western sector. Waters of Samurai Islands to eastern and western Milne Bay Islands to Cape Vogel, seas 2 to 3 meters. Waters of Finschhafen to Vitias to CSC and waters of Manus and western group of highlands, seas 1.5 to 2.5 meters, rising to 3.0 meters at times.
And that ends the news tonight. Pleasant viewing. Bye for now.
The TVWAN News was proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.